All right, back at it again, here to film another video. And today what I want to talk about is the plague of procrastination and just not doing things. So I have a couple really important examples and that have happened to me in the last couple days that they sound very simple, but they'll have a just humongous effect on your life. It's actually really cool. There's a plane flying overhead and it's like, it almost looks like it's doing like a barrel roll because of the angle that it's at, but it's a huge like plane. So anyway, try not to get off track. I go on a lot of tangents. I try to really keep these videos kind of dialed in and focused. And it's hard for me because I'll be talking about one thing, then I'll have another idea that'll come into my head and I'll be like, wow, that's actually really good. Then I'll spin off on something else, start talking about that. So I realized that I could probably sit here and talk for 10 hours straight on a video and just go from one topic to the next. But I'll try to keep everything super concise, and my phone has 10% battery, so that's not going to help either. It's going to have to be pretty quick. I have another camera, but it's not the best. So anyway, let's keep it short. The idea of focus and not procrastinating and just doing things. So again, it all ties into being able to get yourself into this upward spiral. And initially, right, and I've said this before, it takes a lot of work from step one, right? Right out the gates, tremendous amount of work. As you start getting into it, and what I've realized too about when it comes to procrastination is it's essentially your willpower. If you think of that willpower as a muscle in your brain, what's pretty much happening is it's atrophied, it's super weak, you have no willpower, you haven't trained yourself. And so at first, like any muscle, it gets weak and you have to strengthen it. At first, it's hard as shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like even for me, when I'm today, like it took a tremendous amount of effort. I wanted to do a bunch of other things. I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna dial in. I'm gonna focus on this. I'm gonna get this done, and then I'm gonna get this done. Then I'm gonna get this done, and it just has to happen. Anyway, it's really hard at first. The more that you do it, you'll strengthen that willpower muscle. I've heard a bunch of people say before that you only have so much bandwidth or willpower in a single day. So you have to think of it like you only have so many hours in a day. It's kind of the same with willpower. You only have so much willpower in a day. So you got to think, all right, how am I going to allocate this to the things that I really need to do? So, and once you've kind of burned out the willpower, it's over for that day. So you have to kind of be strategic and smart about how you want to use it. And again, the more that you use it, the easier it'll get. But at first, it's really hard, right? That willpower muscle in your brain is so atrophied that even just trying to do something really simple takes a lot of energy. But it's pretty incredible. So once you're able to strengthen that muscle, right, that willpower, that willpower muscle, the things that you're able to accomplish in a day just they fly through the roof. It's like you can literally just start knocking out all these things. And again, I always talk about auditing your life. You have to look at your day, right? What are you doing that, number one, is eating up a lot of willpower that you could be allocating to something else? And then number two, what are all the little bullshit things that you're doing, and trying to look at the camera during the day, that you could be using on something else that would actually matter, right? I always talk about planting these seeds now for things that will have compound interest, so to speak, later on. So for example, playing a video game for 2 hours is going to have absolutely no compound on you a week from now or a month from now down the road. Whereas making some sort of business connection or improving your social skills or reading a book that's going to plant some new ideas in, that could have a tremendous amount of compound interest. When I say compound, I mean it's something that you're doing now that might not have a payoff right this second, but down the road it'll help you a lot. And you have to think about these things. And then ideally, when you get rid of this kind of procrastination, when you improve your willpower, you're able to plant a lot more seeds every day. And again, a lot of these seeds, they're never going to grow. A lot of the seeds, they're not going to hurt you either. But even if just 1 out of every 10 seeds that you can plant can grow, right? You're trying to set yourself up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, with all these seeds and some of them will grow into huge trees. And then the idea, right, is you have this metaphorical forest that you've built, but you have to plant those seeds first. Super interesting to think about. Plant as many seeds as you can now, and there's no age that you can't. You're planting the seeds from the time you're born. The thing is that most kids, they don't realize it, but they're planting a lot of seeds, right? When you learn to walk, when you learn to talk, when you learn to do a lot of these things, but then what ends up happening is at a certain age, you're kind of beaten down. You lose self-esteem, certain things happen, social relationships, maybe you didn't have the best parents. You get, into this weird funk, and you stop planting these seeds. You're just like, all right, I have a couple of trees that have grown. I'm using this like metaphorically, right? Seeds to trees that have grown, and now I don't really need any more, and you kind of stop developing. And it's hard because now you have to retrain, and everyone's going to stop doing this at a certain point unless you're taught this. But of course, this is not taught in schools. It's not, most parents are not going to teach you this. A lot of these you can call them new age things, are just being started. And if the video cuts, it's because I've lost battery on my camera. I was trying to charge it before I left, and I was like, I had kind of like gotten it to 25%. I was like, all right, that would be good. But then I always forget that it basically goes from like 25 to 5 anyway. Point is, we'll wrap it up. Plant as many seeds as you can now. Doesn't matter what age you are. Plant them now so you can have a forest later on, and keep the focus and train that willpower. Remember, the willpower, it's like a muscle in your mind and your brain. The more you train it, the stronger it'll get. And the payoffs later on will be incredible. And even just the payoffs today, you'll feel good. It won't be that like superficial, like sugar high or quick fix high. It'll be a legitimate, really clean high. Similar to like an example would be when you eat really good quality clean food, you get that really clean feeling. It's more subtle in many ways. It's not like that sugar spike, that dopamine spike, that quick fix, but it's like a much more subtle, even-keeled, beautiful high. And the more you can get to appreciate that, the more you'll chase after that. And again, get in that upward spiral, work that willpower, baby. I'll be coming back in tomorrow. I'll be filming every day. You're going to see me, do a lot of big things on this channel, trying to at least, I don't know, man. It's getting better, build it up, and I'll be back very soon. Until tomorrow, I love all you guys.